Welcome to the Daily Tanya. Today is Tuesday, the 25th day of Iyar. We are in the middle of chapter 51. Today we're going to finish chapter 51 in Tanya. Let's begin with tzedakah. Gedela tzedakah, shemekareves es hageula. So in this chapter, the Alter Rebbe explains the concept of God dwelling in us. The bigger picture the Alter Rebbe is going to lead, it leads to explain the idea of doing the actual physical mitzvahs of action, how this is important to bring and connect that godliness into this world. But then in here, the Alter Rebbe started by explaining that this idea of the dwelling, like it says, there is the Shechina and the God dwells in each and every one of us. So this idea of dwelling, what does it mean Hashem dwells in a certain place? Isn't Hashem everywhere? And to explain this, Alter Rebbe started explaining that we find a similar concept in a human being. In a human being, you have the soul, and the soul dwells in the body. And the soul dwelling in the body, we explained that there is three stages. You have the very essence of the soul. The very essence of the soul is very simple, indivisible, cannot be defined in any way, and it is equally in the brain like it's in the toe. The toe is equally alive, just like the brain is alive. And then there is the way the soul draws energies to each particular organ, and that goes by first coming into the brain. The brain is like the hub, the center, the nerve center of having this, the soul, the light, the energy of the soul comes into the brain, and from the brain it is defined more to fit each and every particular organ. So yeah, that is the three stages. You have the very essence of the soul, which is equally in every part of it. And then you have the soul, the energy of the soul, the way it comes and dwells in the brain. And then it comes from the brain, how it's being revealed in each particular organ. And now the Alter Rebbe goes to explain that similarly, there is also, when we're talking about God, filling the world, powering the world. So you have the very essence of God. Godliness is indivisible and is equally in the most spiritual worlds, the way it is and the way it is in this physical world. And then there is the way Hashem, the way God lowered his light to come to animate each particular world and each particular creation. In today's lesson is going to talk about these two parts, these two levels, the very essence and the last level, the way it's in each particular part of the world. And then tomorrow we're going to continue to talk about the hub, the center, the way it is in the brain. So let's see inside what the Alter Rebbe says. Says the Alter Rebbe, v'kocha mamash al derech mashal ein soif baruch hu memale kol almin lachayosam. In a truly similar manner, figuratively speaking, does the blessed Ein Sof fill all the worlds so as to animate them, to animate all the worlds. And in each world there are creatures without limits or end. Myriads upon myriads of various grades of angels and souls, and so on. So of course, although we know in general that there are four worlds, but more particularly there is really endless worlds, different endless levels of different world that is created in order, and as it'll soon explain, what makes the difference between the worlds is how much godly revelation there is in there. And then in each world is also tens of thousands of different levels, angels and souls and so on. And so too is the abundance of the worlds without end or limit, one higher than the other, and so on. Now says the Alter Rebbe, of course, when we're talking about the essence of the light of Hashem, the very essence is equally in all of the worlds, just like the soul is equally in every part of the body. Now the core and essence of the blessed Ein Sof is the same in the higher and the lower worlds, as in the example of the soul mentioned above, when the Alter Rebbe explained that the soul's core and essence is not divisible, and thus it cannot be said of it that it is found in the brain to a greater extent than it is found in the feet. It's equally everywhere. So the same thing is also about Hashem. We're talking about the essence of Hashem is equally everywhere. And as it is written in the Tikkunim, the EU says that he is hidden from all the hidden. What does it mean, the hidden from all the hidden? You could understand it as saying that God is so hidden that nothing else is hidden as him, as the essence of Hashem. But Alter Rebbe says that there is a deeper meaning to this statement. Hidden from all the hidden means that even in the most hidden levels, meaning the most godly, holy levels, the essence of God is hidden there, just as he is hidden right here in this physical world. That's what Alter Rebbe explains. Pirush. This means to say that even in the higher hidden worlds, meaning the higher hidden worlds is hidden from us. It's so high we don't understand them. We don't appreciate the greatness. But even in those worlds, he is hidden and concealed within them, just as he's hidden and concealed in the lower worlds. Because no thought can apprehend him at all, even in the higher worlds. And therefore, and he's found here in regards to where God can be found, just as he's found there, so is he to be found in the very lowest worlds. Then what makes a difference between the lower world and the higher world? The difference is the light that comes fitting to each world according to its capabilities. That just like the energy from the soul come to each organ according to its characteristics, the same thing is depending on how much godliness is revealed there. Not the essence of God, but the level of the Ein Sof that shines in an inner way. The difference between the higher and the lower worlds, this is with regard to the flow of the vitality which the blessed Ein Sof causes to flow and illumine in a manner of revelation out of concealment. Which is one of the reasons why the influence of the flow of this vitality is figuratively called light. When we're talking about the light of Hashem, this is the way it's used in the Kabbalah, the Or Ein Sof, the light of Hashem. Other places, other books of philosophy books, it is called Shefa. Shefa means something that flows. An example for Shefa would be when a teacher teaches a student. When a teacher teaches a student, he gives them the knowledge. He delivers the knowledge, the whatever the teacher delivers to the student. That's in a way is called shefa. So there's a difference between or, light, and shefa. Shefa, when the teacher gives the student, it is really the teacher needs to willingly fit the knowledge based on the capabilities of the student. When we're talking about light, just like sunlight, for example, the light shines equally everywhere. That is why he says this is called oil. It's called the example that is used is the example of light. Thereby animating the world and the creatures therein. Now, for the higher world, receive this vitality and light in a somewhat more revealed form than do the lower worlds. Now, all the creatures therein in the higher world receive the revealed aspects of their vitality, albeit each according to its capacity and nature. Which is the nature and form of the particular flow with which the blessed Ein Sof imbues and illumines it. So you have that each level receives a certain amount of light, just like when you take the light and it goes through filters. But the lower worlds and the creatures, even the spiritual world, do not receive the divine life force in quite such a revealed form as it is received in the higher worlds. The lower world goes through much more filtering, and that is why they can get to so lower to the point that they become very physical. Not only by means of many garments, wherein the blessed Ein Sof invests the vitality and light which he causes to flow and shine on them in order to animate them. Now these garments wherein the blessed Ein Sof invests and conceals the light and vitality are so strong and powerful to the point that it becomes physical world. That thereby, this light force and light, he created this world that is verily corporal and physical. And God creates and animates it by the vitality and light, which he draws down and shines forth unto it. And this light is very concealed. Now this illumination is a light that is clothed, hidden, and concealed within the numerous and powerful garments, which hide and conceal the light and vitality, to the point that no light or vitality whatsoever is visibly revealed. But only corporal and physical things that appear lifeless. But in the same time, it's not lifeless. It is full with life. It has the very essence of Hashem. The very essence of Hashem that makes it exist. Otherwise it wouldn't exist. That's what Alter Rebbe continues. Yet they contain the light and vitality, which constantly creates them ex nihilo, something from nothing, so that they shall not revert to nothingness, and not as they had been prior to the creation. For Hashem to make something disappear, what does he have to do? He has to do nothing. If he does nothing, the thing is not here. Every moment, as we say in the davening, we say, Hashem recreates us every single moment. So that is from the endless light, but it's concealed. This light comes from the blessed Ein Sof, except that it is clothed in many garments. As it is written in Eitz Chaim, the book of the Kabbalah from Rabbi Chaim Vital. He says that the light and vitality of the physical orb of earth, which is seen by mortal eyes, is derived from Malchus of Asiyah. That's the lowest level of the lowest level of the lowest world. But to betoicha Malchus the Yetzirah, and in it is contained Malchus of the next highest world, the world of Yetzirah, and so on. Within Malchus of Yetzirah, in turn, there is contained the Malchus of Beria, and so on. Ad shebekulam yud sfiras de Atzilus, so that in all of them, within the level of Malchus of all worlds, including levels of Malchus of Asiyah, are contained the 10 sephiras, the 10 attributes of the loftiest world, the world of Atzilus, which are united with their emanator, the blessed Ein Sof. So here is what the Alter Rebbe explained, the analogy, the analog, that just like in the body and soul, we find these two extremes. You have the essence of the soul, and you have then the way it is filled in each particular organ. But yet the soul animates the whole entire body equally. So too, when talking about the world, the way God makes the world to be, there is the essence of Hashem is equally everywhere. And yet there is the individual life and light that comes from Hashem individually to each one. What is the hub that we're talking about? The Shekhinah, that way Hashem dwells just like in the central point, like in the brain, that we will continue, God willing, tomorrow. Thank you for joining with Hashem. We shall see you tomorrow.